Hello, my pets. Welcome back to Vanity Fair. My name is Chris Farah. It is a fun podcast where I watch TV and then get to tell you about the dumb shit I watch. And guess what? You watch it too. Or you're just like, I can't. Chris, will you just tell me what happened in this one episode? I mean, I don't know what your life is. However, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And here's the thing. I hope that some dumb, silly, stupid, maybe funny, maybe smart, but like probably kind of just like universally humanly dumb thing I say means something to someone once. And that means enough. At the same time, what are we talking about? I mean, 90 Day Fiancé. It's before the 90 days. It's season 8. It's episode 12. Final boarding call. Here's the thing. Final boarding call happens before like even getting on the plane. So like it doesn't quite make sense to have it now. That should have happened way before. Like that's not linear to the storytelling of we know what happens when you get on a plane, like it's dissenting, at this point. It's final boarding call. What are you talking about? Anyway, I don't understand who they think we are. I'll tell you what I liked about this episode. Some things. I'll tell you what I hated. What I'll start with Lisa and Daniel. Guess what? She pooped the bed. I do I even want to say this? I already said it, but like, do I even want to talk about it? No, I don't. She's a wild candidate to be on the show. I feel bad for her. At the same time, she needs to just, I mean, honey, just like sit out a couple of years. I don't want to say like sit out a couple of months and just like do some like self reflection. Lisa's desperate need to feel fake good, even when she knows it's not real and like fleeting and just like detrimental to her and other people, is, yeah, I mean, it's not great. She's too old. So here's we are. Here's we are. Oh God. That spicy food has caught up to her. So like I guess in the middle of the night, she just shat the bed. She pooped the bed, honey. I mean, I don't she woke up, it was warm. And it's not like the kind of warm where you just pee. Oh my God. And it's all over him. He's like, it's stained. My clothes, it's on me. He's what he said. And then she said that she had a hard time cleaning up because she kept on running to the bathroom. I'm like, I just was like, how do I do that? I don't want to know this. I hate this. I I will say this. This is the one thing that this scene will tell me. You really cannot get this woman to feel any amount of like shame, humiliation enough to like get the F out of there, like he is, however, I will say, remarkably understanding. He's not happy about it. But I mean, next scene is that he's taken her, guess what? Is it to learn about her culture or to talk about her and her life? Or I don't know, like care about faith or something? No. It's still, talk more about him, his life. It's the Igbo culture. It's the Igbo culture. I'm so sorry. But I do like the culture. I'm just saying it's so funny. This is probably the first time I'm like, this foreign person never cares about the American. And it's true. I usually don't care about that. But in this case, Daniel so obviously does not care about one lick of Lisa's whole life. Like, he never talks about faith. Like, oh, who's the daughter that I'm going to be in the life of? Like, it's just so obvious, So, anyway, at the same time, like, yes, they're like patriarchal that he's like, my culture is the culture. I don't care about my culture. So his culture right now, because she's done so many things, like the fake king and his uncle and like the parade, and they had a lot tie the thing around her head. She can't do it. She can't fit in the clothes. Like she's done so much. If you really thought the palm wine, like the kneeling, like the lying, she's tried to do so much for the wig. I mean, really think about what this, no American, and I mean this probably on 90 Day Fiancé history in the books has done anything as much as this woman has tried to change herself and do it for him. She, obviously doesn't have like as much financial means, but like she has obviously helped him to the best of her ability, which seems like arguably a lot, if not more than we would assume. Okay. So this, I mean, Lisa's done a lot. Danielle has done, basically nothing except that one parade and then be like, this is what you need to do to make my life happy, even though you're the one kind of like, saving me from I don't know, poverty. I mean, whatever, getting them the nice clothes, the ancestors, whatever they said about the, premonition of the white woman coming, and saving him. God bless. Now that's going to come up later, what he thought about white people. And LOL. I mean, this is ridiculous. I feel bad talking about it a little. I mean, I don't feel great talking about it. I don't feel, like super learned or like, my God, she's going to go down in history as like someone who really just tried to fight the fight of philosophical and deep talks. Like, I can't believe I had to say that she pooped the bed. Like that's where I am in life talking about this. But that is what happened. She's now making the soup. So the making the soup is the traditional soup, honey. There's like fermented beans, sometimes fermentation is like so great, right? Like yum, like pickles. Yum. I love that kind of fermentation, sourdough bread couldn't be better. Cheese, like, and then sometimes fermentation makes things really bad, like blue cheese. It's a boundary, and too much fermentation, absolutely not. Uh, so I can imagine that sometimes things can smell. There's so many ingredients in that soup, honey. I mean, and then she makes it, and he eats it with his like hands. Like it's like interesting, and he loves it. Like they do this thing, kind of like almost a sharp thing, where he tastes her soup, and he makes a face that you think for a second that he's going to be like, "This is." The grossest thing I have ever had. Like, who are you? Like, you think this man's gonna go full like Gordon Ramsay, like spit it out and be like, how dare you? And this man does the absolute opposite. He's like kind of he's kind of grabbing the soup and putting it in his mouth. I can't describe it exactly, but he pauses and then he's like, Lisa, this is so good. I'm so proud of you. She's like so happy, And then he's also like, please try this soup. And she's like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Do you remember that time I all over you? Do you remember that? It was this morning. Don't ask me to have this fermented bean soup, honey. Absolutely. I'm good. I'm good. So here's the thing. She's like, I think I did it. I've tried so hard. There's sores all over my head, like what more can this man want from me? Except, I didn't tell him some things. So she's like, I feel guilty because he's done so much for me. So she confesses that she's been married before, not just to like Faith's dad, and he really didn't ask about that. And, that's on him because he didn't ask. Next time, ask how many times she's actually been married because he didn't ask. She wasn't going to tell him 5 times. She's like, you would be my 6th husband now. That's a lie. I've been married 5 times. Okay. Yeah. No, that's true. You would be my 6th husband. Not true. Not true. You'd be my 6th spouse. Betrothed. Husband? I mean, I don't have to be like Sue labely, but like, no, like I think he's our 3rd, right? There was 2 ladies. 3rd man, 2, there's 2 wives. He'd be her 3rd husband after 2 wives. 2 wives removed. You're my 3rd husband, 2 wives removed from that. So, add them. I mean, and so she can't stop lying. She didn't even have to say husband. You'd be my 6th. Period. She just stops it. So then my favorite part of the entire episode happens. Okay, so she starts that, right? And he's obviously upset. Like he's not handling it well, like, and she, like immediately backpedals because she's a crazy kind of manipulative person. Like she, whatever she has the also thing where she will kind of try and backpedal out of any accountability, which then peddles her into more accountability. Does that make sense? Like, if you're going to tell me that you have, maybe like some processing thing or neurological thing or personality disorder, whatever the F you have or whatever the God bless, I would get it, except for the fact that is if you backpedal out of accountability and try to manipulate out of thinking that something is your fault when it's someone else's fault, then that only makes me feel like you're smarter and you know what you're doing. He, like a lawyer, So anyway, so here we are. So she's like, well, this all happened, me just telling you now because, well, like I said, you never asked. So I just never mentioned it. Here's the thing. We were married a few months and then they ran off to be with someone else. This is where she gets kind of smart. And I couldn't locate them for quite a while. And he's listening. And I filled out divorce papers, but I'm still married. And then, this is where he takes pause. Because he almost was going like if she was just like, "Oh, 5 marriages, you're my, sixth husband." He was like, "Okay. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. Yeah, yeah. Here's the thing. People come and go. It's not about that. It's about us now. It's about, well, you just are marrying kind then. You must be wife material. People can't stop trying to marry you is what I'm picking up on. That's probably a good sign. And then of course she's like, I'm still, figuring it out with that fifth one who's the one before you, the husband before you. And he's like, yeah, you're still married to the fifth one, and she's like, yes. But there's and she says but there's so fast. This is the funniest part. Yes. But there's she wants to say, but there's more. I'm a lesbian, and there are a lot of lesbians involved, and I was just, like I said, you're the third husband. There's 2 lesbians. Like she wanted to say all that, but she couldn't, and so all we got was, but there's, but there's, hi. Oh my god, I reran the "but there's" 1 billion times because at first I also wanted to get a shot of the captions, but obviously she says it so fast. The captions also happen really fast too. He's like, God bless. She looks like a cat that had eaten a whole ass mouse, honey. And then they caught the cat, mouse's whole wiggly tail just out that mouse. Sorry, I can't talk. Out that cat's mouth. Just like it's wiggling, and you're just like, kitty. Open your mouth. You got a mouse in there. And that's Lisa's face, honey. Just like, you know, um, it's interesting. I guess, okay, here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. No one's perfect. And for sure, it's just that once you get so caught, like once you are just obviously, the shit's hit the fan, come on out. Like, it's interesting when people don't give up at that point because there's 2 things. A, I think, do they think we're dumb? And that could be it. Or B, wouldn't it be easier? Is there not just a relief in just letting it go now? Just moving fine. You did it. I mean, I don't know. She's been sitting on this. It's been just sitting on her mind that she's lied to him. It's just underneath that wig, all these thoughts, all these worries about waiting to see if he's going to judge her for being a lesbian and the marriage, because obviously it's a double whammy and she doesn't even get to the second whammy. She doesn't get to it, honey. She can't. Okay. So anyway, at this point, obviously it's not great. He's like, I've been sleeping with another man's wife. And we're like, nope. Oh no, that's the problem. No. No, you haven't. You're good. He's so upset. He's like, I could be banished for this. You cannot sleep with another man's wife. I'm like, we're just like, oh, well, then here's the thing. That's fine. So the producers are kind of like, even like, hey, just so you know, like, you can be upset for like so many reasons, and we don't even know the reason you should really be upset yet. But like, we won't say that to you. But like, pick it up in her voice. In America, they are legally separated, and there's like this thing where it's like if it's after a certain amount of time, it's kind of like a moot point. And it's been years, and he's so upset. He's just like, I can't sleep with another man's wife. And again, the producers just have to be like, Well, mm, you don't have to worry. Is there a way you don't have to worry about that? I mean, yeah. I just unfortunately it's like, oh no, do I want Lisa's ex-wife to like have a sit down with Daniel? Of course I do. Do I want that to happen to the tell all? Nah. Yes. Yes. I want it so bad, like, yeah, of course. Oh God. Here's the thing. I think that woman that, is the fifth, the fifth person that was hard to locate. She's not hard to locate on the internet. She's been doing interviews. So the TLC people can like definitely pick her up. I unfortunately feel like two things are true. I do think that TLC or Sharp Entertainment might be taking advantage of Lisa in her life and her, kind of like weird proclivities and or eccentricities. You tell me. So I think it'd be really damaging if they went into her whole life and tried to get people to talk about her, come to the tell all. But however, that is what usually happens, and I can see it happening. Yes, Faith. Faith's gonna come. And they had that one friend on, but I could see a world in which the ex-wife comes on too. Because it would be unfortunately oh shit TV. And oh shit TV is easy to make if like hungry people are, ready to expose all for fame. And if that ex-wife is just going to do some like bloggers interview, I'm just saying. Unless Sharp Entertainment's like, no, we're gonna protect Lisa. And I'd be happy about that. So anyway, she's like so upset. She's like, do you want me to take off the ring? Do you want me to take off the ring? She's like, he doesn't want me anymore, so, which is, he doesn't fight her. She takes off the ring. He's just like, mm-hmm. And he's like, you messed up. She's so upset. She wanted to come back and be like, please, I just want to tell me what I have to do. He's like, you messed up. Get some paper towels and clean this up. I mean, no, it's interesting. He does have, some boundaries, like, yeah, he's not gonna fuck around with, someone's wife. There's something very admirable admirable about that. Yes, he would absolutely con her, like absolutely wants to move to America and just pretend to be totally into this woman. He's not. She's pooped on him. He hates the wigs, doesn't care about her daughter, doesn't care about her life, like doesn't care about her period, just is like, get me, into the ancestry forecast dream where my mom said the white woman's coming. And here's the problem: this whole time he's been waiting for that fucking angelic lady to come, like the premonition said. And he thought, white people tells the truth. And we're here to say no. Nope. Historically, no. Categorically, no. Nope. Here, no, people don't tell the truth. I mean, that's what it's like is interesting. It's like, yeah. At the end of the day, people are people. So there's gay everywhere. There's gay in Nigeria. There's lying in Nigeria. There's gay in white. I'm sorry, there's gay in America. There's lying in America. It's, yeah, like, for better or for worse, the boundaries in between the ways in which human beings treat and act others and themselves is like not bound at all by race. Like it's just interesting. People treat everyone kind of like a similar situation. Like people are either weird or mean or classist or elitist or or welcoming and warm and inviting and wanting of connection and respectful of others, and if not somewhat joyful in the connection they have with others. I mean, I don't know, and or open-minded to how other people live, and sort of like understanding that it takes all types to make a world, and having had conversations with other people, truthful ones, where people felt open and honest, honest enough to bear themselves, so that you've had enough of those to realize that people move the way that their hearts dictate them, and it's not always so binary. That's the truth. Anyway, okay, so here's the thing: she FaceTimes Faith, and Faith has been waiting. Okay, so Faith is like, what happened? She's like, I told him, I told him about the marriages, Faith, and he didn't He didn't take it well. And she's like, did you say that the marriages were to women? She's like, no. He's like, well, mom, you know what you have to do? You have to go tell him about the women. I can't do it. He didn't take it well. Babe, did you just hear what I said? He took that first part bad. So I don't understand why you think I'm going to come back around and say more bad shit. Faith, no, have you met me? I'm going to skirt the issue. I am going to avoid it. I will do whatever the worst, most possible toxic option is. Faith, that's me. It's your mom. Remember? God, it's been that long since you talked to me or saw my face. It's me, Faith. It's Lisa. You're just like, oh my God. I hate to laugh. It's just that it's also triggering, but it's also so sad. And also, there's a part of me that is laughing only because Faith's demeanor, and she's not with her mom, so she's had some distance, at this point does sort of feel like, what the fuck? What the fuck, mom? Just friend. I mean, person that is getting their life together, and but hopefully soon, not right now, and definitely not in front of me ever. Like, Faith does seem like she knows that her mom isn't doing it. And she does seem to be able to tell her that. And Lisa's not being mean or like lying to Faith, nor is she even like manipulating Faith to think that Faith is in the wrong for not supporting her, which could have happened and it's not. So I'm just going to give her that, you know. Um, I just like to fantasize that this whole time Faith has been like in the most luxurious therapeutic facility to heal her mother wound, you know, where she's just like has a lovely psychologist to just be like, all right, we're gonna fix it. You know, like you have the opportunity now to like be away from her, let her do her thing. I wonder one part of Faith is like reverse psychology of being like, look, mom, whatever you do, don't get married to Daniel. Leave me and then stay in Nigeria. Please don't. Whatever you do, don't do it. But I wonder if she really was like, please do it. Please stay there. Please, I don't want to deal with you anymore. Please be someone else's problem. Please. Is this an opportunity for you to like not be in my life, not be my problem anymore? And I get a clean break from someone who is like a fucking succubus. I'm just wondering. I mean, you know, I don't know. What do you guys think? You tell me. I didn't mind the ring when she took it off. I was like, you know, it's not a bad looking ring. Okay, let's move on. Forrest and Sheena. This is a weird kind of like half-ass scene where in the middle of a confrontation, obviously the confrontation where Forrest has gotten engaged to Sheena, which is what he wanted the entire time. He wanted two things. A, to for some reason go to the Philippines with 3 pairs of underwear and then just buy some that would fit him right there. And then B, to low key get engaged to Sheena. This is a whole other like that's okay, that's 2. 2B, have sex with Sheena. Great. 2C, like stay in the Philippines with his, you know, new wife that he has sex with. Like that's all of 2. Okay, so that sort of started on the precipice of that, of course, was the engagement at the Gondola Mall. Italy's finest El Pollo Loco sponsored mall. I love that El Pollo Loco like creamy Caesar dressing, and I told you that already. And the thing about it is Caesar is like maybe Italian. I'm not quite sure, even though if you really look at it. Okay, if you look it up, I'm 99% sure that Caesar was like made from like a lovely restaurant in like Tijuana or something like that. Like I think that Caesar is like a Mexican specialty that's like somehow co-opted by Italian specialty or like Italian red sauce joints. I'm gonna look it up, but that's what I was told. And listen, the internet and people like waiters at places couldn't possibly lie to me. Okay, so Forrest is like putting 6 toes in the sand against his mom. You know, and here's the thing about Molly. Molly is I was talking I said this, I was getting my hair done, and if you're on YouTube or on Patreon, you're gonna get these visuals. Like on Patreon, you get the visuals real fast. So you're the first person to see my new haircut. It's my birthday haircut. And then you know, like 24 hours later, maybe I'll release this to YouTube. Or you're listening on Vanity Fair. Either way, wherever you are, please be giving your girl comments, stars, whole situation, reviews, 5 stars, if you don't mind, and whatever nice thing you want to say on Apple and Spotify. And then on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed, followed, the whole situation. All that to say, got my hair done, and I love my girl who's Casey, who's at Chris McMillan, who's been doing my hair for like so long. It's wild. And she watches the show, and we were talking about how Molly isn't all bad, right? Like Molly isn't all bad, and I'll tell you why. And this is Casey. It's because Molly, for all of her toxic American, white, like mom stuff, is having the time of her life in the Philippines. She really is enjoying it. She's trying everything. She loves the fruit. She's like mean and nice to Sheena the whole time. She's like, I don't know, Forrest, how you can listen to this lying sack of a beauty. She's like, she like knows that Sheena has her shit together. She's like, the Philippines is really beautiful. There's so much history. I've never been out of my country. Wow, what a special place. I mean, these palaces are gorgeous, and your place, Sheena, is really nice. Your parents are really cool. I love your parents. Thank you so much for treating Deb and I like kings and queens, like the feast on the bed. Like she laid in that hot tub. This is Molly, like soaking it in, literally, figuratively, her love of the Philippines. At the same time, she's been tasked with being the contrarian, so she has to do both. I really don't appreciate you, Forrest, trying to move to such a beautiful historical country with such nice things and such wildly delicious, ripe, interesting tasting fruits. Deb, you have anything to say? Deb's like, I love the fruit. I mean, okay. But she's mad. But right now, Molly's mad, okay? And she is mad because Forrest, was supposed to listen to every moment of her and everything, do everything she wants. And obviously, he wants to get rid of her. And the best way to get rid of her is to jump from one to another. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it in life, honey. You just like pretend, you just jump from one to another, like a little monkey, branch to branch. And so he's swinging from his mommy branch right to Sheena's branch. You don't have to live in any kind of jungle by yourself if you are swinging branch to branch. Easy that way, safe. So God bless. So he's like, this is really happening. We're getting engaged. You can't do anything about it. And Sheena's like, look, Mom, we're making our own choices. She's like, shut up, Sheena. You don't want to talk all the time when I'm asking you about why you're lying, and now you're talking. I don't want to hear your stupid mouth, Sheena. Sheena's like, oh. And then Forrest is like, look, Mom, Sheena told me. Sheena told me that the reason why she lies is because she has, no, she did tell me. Wait, I'm so sorry. Sheena, why? Okay, no, wait. She told me why she lies, Mom. Okay. And it's because sometimes when Sheena's like thinking about what to say, like the trauma, it's, Sheena, why do you lie again? Like you did say it, but like it wasn't like super cohesive. It's something, Mom, like she just gets upset and like, people like pressure her, and so she lies or whatever. It's like our fault, but like she's gonna work on. So you're gonna work on. We said that she is going to work on it, so don't even worry about it. And that's what Forrest said. And then Molly's like, well, would you stay if she diddled someone else? Wouldn't you? She would just lie to you, or she would not even have to. You'd stay, you little pussy boy. She's gonna diddle someone. I mean, she would diddle someone? Doodle? Diddle? First of all, yeah, it's a horrible word. It's a horrible word that she chose to say on TV, and also in that sense. Like she wouldn't have to be like, well, she fucked someone, but she could be like, well, she cheated on you? Would you stay? But diddled is so infantile. And he's like, literally like, I'm going to do what I want. And she's like, well, you're just going to do what you want. You're not going to listen to your mom. He's like, no, I'm going to be an adult man. And she's like, huh, well, don't come crying back to me when she breaks up with you. He's like, no, I absolutely won't. Now, here's the thing. If anything happens, he is going to go back to his mom. And I mean that only because I wish I had experience meeting one of his like friends Forrest should have one American friend that we met. Someone that, like, hangs out with him, plays D&D. I don't know. Like, for me to believe that he's not gonna have to, like, hit up his mom for stuff, but because we never met that person and he went to a sex shop with who? His mom? Not even Deb. Not even his, like, male, role model or whatever, but his mom. It makes me feel like if anything happened, of course, the mom would be there. And here's the thing, Molly, you're gonna have to be there. I think that at some point people have to be there for loved ones. I don't know how many relationships Forrest's been in to have like massive breakups or like to be broken up with, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say probably not because he's dated Sheena for like 7 years. So it's crazy to me for you to just be like, don't come crying to me as if it's happened so many times. I mean, you have to allow someone to get their heart broken. You have to allow someone discomfort and pain. It's like part of the learning process. And it's painful to do that as a parent across the board, right? Like it's and also it's like you want to save them from that. So you want to just tell them how to avoid it and you want them to just believe you, but A, they don't, or B, what they want, their own hormones or whatnot, like supersedes your desires. And the good news is if you can lean into, oh, well, then that's what it's supposed to be, and they have to learn a lesson, and this is on them, then that's great. It's hard though if you like also have the added pressure of this person is autistic, or I have to like save this person. At the same time, he is fully saying, I'm an adult male, and he's a seasoned, male. He's huge. And, he has no money. So the thing about all of this is that if Forrest had something financial to lose, all of us would be like, yeah, Molly, I don't know. But he doesn't. Sheena has all the money. And, whoever has the gold makes the rules. And so at the same time, if Sheena wants to do whatever she wants to do with her money, which is save as much as she wants and then give away as much as she wants, or like give some to her parents or buy a new hat, or, whatever she wants to do is what she should do, period. And Forrest has got to do something. Now, I don't know what Forrest is planning on doing if he's going to move to the Philippines. That's what's important to know. Like, I literally need his game plan because that feels like he's just going to be a burden on Sheena. Now, if you can tell me something that he can do, great. But it's interesting because at the same time, it doesn't feel like he had a formidable career trajectory in America either. So we would need to know what the difference is, like why this is going to work out for him in the Philippines. And also I want to know if Sheena understands that he is just a financial liability if he moves there. Like if that is what happens, is she okay with that? Like being the breadwinner for everyone? Because that does save her. Then she can do whatever the fuck what she wants with her money. You really can't tell her anything. you know? So basically, he then tries to give some metaphor about rocks, like you sometimes have to dive right in to the deep end, and then there's jagged rocks that you could kill yourself on, but you do it because that's how you get in the water. And she's like, Dev, are you hearing this? And Dev is not hearing it. Doesn't care one bit. I mean, in Dev's mind, he is just like boobies and burgers, boobies and burgers, boobies and burgers, boobies and burgers, all day long. And also that bath. So now, like, I think that also he thinks about that bath. He he loves B words. Bitches, boobies, burgers, baths. I mean, can I be honest? Oh no, I do too. I love boobies. I love burgers. I don't care so much about like touching or seeing a lot of other women's boobies, but I don't mind like definitely like a flip book. I don't mind seeing 4 sets of boobies a day. Well, that seems a lot of boobies. I don't mind seeing 2 sets of boobies a day, one mine and one someone else's, like either in a magazine or just like out and about. Like, oh, just because I liked her, be like, oh, I forgot what other pairs look like. I see mine all the time. I love mine. But then, there's just vastly different aesthetics of boobies. And I think that it's great to look at aesthetics of different things. It's why things, genitals. It's why I talk about enjoying naked attraction so much, because watching naked attraction is just this like reset of looking at human bodies in a way that everything has to be perfect or filtered or whatnot. Everything is just like, oh, look how many different types there are. Look what they look like. Oh yeah, people have ingrown hairs. People have like red bumps. People have, hairs. People have, all the things. There's something kind of just universally comforting about it. So anyway, moving on. So he's like, accept this proposal, mom, or get out of our lives. And she's like, well, I guess I'm gonna be in your life again. Guess I'm not gonna be in that life. And they're both kind of doing this thing like, oh, you're not gonna be in my life? Okay, well, then I guess you're not gonna be in my life then. And then Molly's like, oh, you don't care about that? You don't care about your mommy being in your life? Of course, it's fine with you. Okay, well, then I won't be in your life. Fine. It's like, it really is back and forth like that. Dev's just like, half of me's like, Dev has to have a conversation with Sheena where he's like, I'm sorry. He's like, Sheena, just so you know what this life is like, I need to tell you, you're going to be like me. You're not going to say shit. You're not going to have time to lie when you're in America. You're not going to be talking. Not with those two. Let's move on to a horrible situation. I mean, I want to tell you, Rick and Trish. Oh, 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 no. Okay, so he, confessed that he cheated on her after obviously making sure she felt like an absolute cheating whore for nothing, or just having a conversation with one of her ex-boyfriend's henchmen, or who knows what. Or but here's the thing, even if she had a relationship with her ex, it's her ex that she knows in real life from her, her country. And he, for no reason, flew out to Colombia to like hook up with someone. Okay, so God bless. She's obviously upset. And then he's like, baby, 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 how can we make this right? Don't put this on me. How can we make this right? Bitch, go back in fucking time and not do it. Is what I would say. And she's like, I don't know, but that's what I would say. And yeah, she's mad. She says, how can I trust you when you go back home to your country? And Rick says, oh, you can, because she's not in my country. Period. That's what Rick says to her. That is what he answers her. How can I trust you when you go home to your home country? And Rick looks at that woman that he's and says, I can't even believe it. I'm so mad. I can't understand. He says, oh, well, she's not in my country. As if him cheating was only that woman's fault. He didn't cheat for any other reason than he had access to that sinner, that snake, that temptress. Like, he was Eve. And I mean, Columbia was just like, hey, Rick. Hey, I know you're such a good guy. You wouldn't want to fuck over Trish ever, but why don't you come buy a ticket? Like, you're just like, no, he's gonna fuck over you because he feels bad. He'll do whatever it takes for him to not feel bad. And the moment is what he's gonna do. Oh my God. It was just so happens that he, either can't get a lot of like his favorite kind of preference of like younger kind of ladies to really put up with this shit in America for whatever reason, and the whatever reason is like they have better options. And so he is like, how can I on paper look good, because he's not a bad looking guy, and entrap someone who like can't have conversations with him in real life all the time. You really can like put on such an air when you're just like FaceTiming and sending texts and you're on that shit. It's so interesting, like the ways in which people fuck over people communication wise. It takes such a like presence to read people. That's okay. Also, not to jump ship, I'm annoyed if you watch Traders of who won Traders. Spoiler alert, I'm trying to think. When you guys listen to this, it would have already happened at least 4 or 5 days, but, listen, when Rob, spoiler alert, read Natalie live on TV and then discussed how he knew that she was lying in real time, I remember thinking, "Can I just do that all the time? Like, why can't I just do that all the time and, like, know when people are lying and people aren't shit?" And then I think, like, can you take a class on, like, reading people virtually? Because it's like, how can you tell if people are authentic in the way they FaceTime and stuff? Like, I think I can just by personality, but I think I'm overly critical. I think I'm just like, "What's that? What's happening there? Why would he hold the angle like that?" I mean, in so much of, like, Rick's confessionals, he's always like, I talk about, I guess, Lisa looking like a mouse. I'm sorry, a cat that had a mouse in her mouth. But also Rick looks like he he looks like he's trying to steal your whole house in front of your face at all times. And he every time you blink, he takes 1 millisecond, sorry, 1 millistep closer. Like he feels so he feels like he's trying to pull a fast run. I'm sorry. He feels like he's trying to pull a fast one over the entire world, as if we all don't know and he doesn't have to be accountable for the fact that he is weird. He isn't shit, that he is like too old to be doing this to this lovely, beautiful young lady. I mean, Trish is so naturally gorgeous. Like her skin is so supple. When she has her hair back, I'm like, she does also look so young that it's like very cringy to watch this man who's swollen and beefed out be like, "Can't wait to fuck you again when I've already fucked you over." Like another thing that I really, really hate, and we saw it like when Johnny and Chloe were fighting, is when men do something super shitty to a female, and like the female is so devastated by it that they're crying, and the man is trying to use that as an opportunity to slide in with physical comfort. When it's like, no, you're not gonna hug me now and be like, "Baby, baby, I want you to feel better." I'm literally crying because of what you did to me, and now you want to push my whole body against you? No. And be like, "Oh, I'm it's breaking my heart to watch you cry." Yeesh. He wants to comfort her. Um, he just is like, "I promise, baby, I promise I'm not gonna cheat. I will never cheat on you. I would never do it, baby. Please, please, baby, don't ever consider me cheating on my baby again." You're just like, "Oh my God, Rick." It is so intense, and he absolutely is going to cheat on her immediately. Like, it is such a lie. It is so gross. I mean, it like makes me if I said quiver, you would think it meant like turned on. It makes me shudder. Makes me like it makes me like convulse with like no, no, help, mm, help that this universe has such a person that is going to lie and be so gross to someone who doesn't deserve it. How are you so mean and like violently vulgar to someone that you quote unquote like is attracted to? Like, I do, and I say quote unquote, he obviously is attracted to her. If you really liked someone that you're attracted to and you think they're cool and you want them in your life, like how do you treat them like this? Unless you just don't have the capacity to. And I think that we think age gives people awareness or capacity or wisdom, but for Lisa and for Rick, there are very similar vibes of not these two. Not yet. Not ever. No, Rick just looks way better than, Lisa. He's kept up, a little more. And I feel bad to say that for Lisa, but like she, could it's just, she God bless as we can see. But at the same time, both people are desperate for love and barking up wrong trees. trees that are too young. And here's the thing, I don't know exactly what I don't know. I know what Daniel wants. I don't Trish, I think, is just really young, and I do think that she probably just enjoys the idea of the fantasy of what America's like. And she gets on paper someone that is physically attractive that makes her smile. I do think that she is more into him. Daniel obviously isn't into Lisa. I mean, you're not like shocked when I say that. Which is why it's interesting that he draws the line when he does. Because then we're like, "Oh, that's the shameful part? Okay. Okay." So basically Rick and Trish, then after he gets her to somewhat give him a chance, then he tries to kiss her and she's like, "Not yet, don't fucking touch me." They go to a fighting match where people are at fisticuffs. I mean, but there's no cuffs. They're fists, fist to fists. Fist to fists. I mean, they are fighting. They are hitting. It's a kind of hit slap. It's kind of like it would be like okay, it's vicious and I don't wanna do it. There's something wildly, like, kind of feminine about it also, like, it looks kind of like listen, I don't mean to say like it's these 2 men are fighting, but there's something kind of sorority girl or like bad girl about the style and technique, which is just kind of a free for all maybe. And I think that maybe if there was more hair, there'd be more hair grabbing, but it is manic looking. And just like, yeah, you have to be really fucking good at fighting. And so Trish is like, listen, for some reason, I'm okay with sleeping with you again. So you pick someone because she offers this. If you pick the fighter that, wins, then we'll have sex tonight. And if I win with my fighter, who's whoever's left, we don't have sex. And he's like, I don't want to put my sex life in someone's hands. And she's like, well, these are my rules and you wouldn't even have a option. He's like, okay. So he picks the tall person. The tall person wins. He's so happy. And now she has to fuck him. And she's, I think, low key happy about it. And then he's like, so what now? She's like, off to see my daddy, the best daddy in the world. Also, you're going to have to tell my dad that you want kids. Yeah, I like the idea that he's like, I'll do whatever it takes to make it up to you, baby. Like when she's so upset. And in that moment, I want her to be like, oh, anything? Okay. Step one, buy out the fucking bathing suit store at the mall. The one I wanted when I said that you're going to buy me a bathing suit and you made a whole big ass deal about it. Buy me the fucking store. And two, we're having kids, as many as I want. And you're about to go kiss my dad's ass and then tell him how you can't wait to bring him his grandbabies. Or I won't have sex with you tonight. That's the fucking ultimatum she should have made, not about like picking the fighter. Girl. So let's move on to Elise, honey. Okay. We pick up on Elise, and Elise is packing, honey. And we get Elise has a fabulous apartment. This is a super modern, very bright Miami apartment. Her kitchen's gorgeous. She has a lot of clothes. She has a lot of bags. There are Christian Dior like shopping totes. They're YSL. There's a couple of Gucci bags and like not the maybe I don't know if the black ones maybe the chevron, but yeah, two kind of like cute maybe crossbodies. It looks like a Chloe bag is a circle bag. She has them all displayed. Now they do look real and or very good looking knockoffs. They look real though. And I think that the way that they're displayed isn't how I'm going to say isn't how a lot of women display their like designer bags that are real. Some women keep them in their desk cloths, their little, bags, or they keep them like behind glass containers so they don't get dust. Like just like, people put their shoes in the boxes. And so, but I was like, whatever, I can deal with that. And she is packing, like I said, and we're like going over and seeing her like putting her like stuff in. I'm like really looking at all her like Dior bags. And she really has like such good look. There's a saddle bag back there. Like, oh my God, I really love it. So then we go into her bag And she has white Chanel, whatever, flats, they're slides, just willy nilly on top of each other in a bag sitting on what looks like white Gucci sneakers. And that part is suspect because there's no way you can pack all those white designer shoes like with no dust bags just sitting on top. They're going to get so fucked up and so dirty. Like they have dirt in the bottom just pressed against each other. Like you wouldn't do that. Those are expensive. But here's the thing, I didn't realize that Elise had at least access to as much money as she does, in the sense of I didn't realize that her parents were like, ballers, which I'm so happy for her. God bless. I'm so happy for anyone that has, some security in their life. But I'm just saying I didn't quite realize it. So when I'm looking at all of this, I'm like, oh, like how much is her, is her daddy just taking care of her? Love. Or is this, like her own deal? What does she do again? Also, she does date. Are these gifts from various lovers? I would like to know. Uh, I want like full stories about each bag. But that was suspect. So basically, we know that she is on the way to meet Josh, and she gets her friend Yulia to come take her to the airport. And she tells us this crazy story, which is like recently she heard, like she literally just got this crazy text from Josh, that Josh, who we already know, told her that he lived with his mom and dad, and that for this trip, he wants to make her feel comfortable. So he's going to rent a beautiful apartment, but he cannot afford it by himself, even for the small amount of months that he is doing it, even though he lives with his parents and he's 39. And so he has to rent with with a friend. And she's been like, oh, okay. And then he's like, guess what? I am probably going to lose that job that I have. And the reason why is because it has to do like with boats, or there's boats involved in this job that I should take seriously. And I decided to take one of the boats and joyride the boat in the harbor. Okay. And we got a fucking car accident and fucked it up because I was drinking, or what knows? What? No. I also feel like he looks older than 30, whatever, 9 he is. Like no. I okay, I'm going to be honest. There is not a human on God's green earth that if I learned that information about them, having gritted my teeth with all the other information that I knew about them, like the age and whatnot, that I would get on that plane. I'd be like, oh, this is literally God, the universe, Mother Mary, the love that universally connects us all, the transcendental spirit. I mean, I don't know what you want to say. I would be like, someone up there / all around us loves me to protect me and to make sure I know not to get on that goddamn plane, not to waste my time, honey, with someone who does not have it. It's hard because I think that it's hard to find love, and it's hard not to be judgmental on people. You want to have an openness. You want to be flexible, and you want to go with the flow, and not have your guard up. Keep your perceptions open. You want that because I think that people move differently, and you might miss something, but at the same time, that's so Peter Panny. That is so someone who doesn't take real life seriously, who doesn't care about anything, who certainly doesn't care about their job or other people's property. Also, maybe again, has an alcohol problem, or wants to be cool in front of their friends, or was trying to impress someone. And then I would ask who. Anyway, all these questions. So at the airport, there's momentary drama with her visa getting denied, but that's not really here nor there. We find out, has his friend Chris, honey, and they're living it up in Australia, in Sydney, and they're like two guys that are cute and probably just drown in Australian crikey all day long. You know what I mean? And they're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to pick up some snacks for our girl Elise. She gave me a whole list. We love fucking goldfish, number one. And the second thing is, we're going to make this girl who like got on a plane 28 hours ago. By the way, is that one plane? No way. You can't take one plane for 28 hours. You don't have the gas for it, right? I have to like look up the Australian route. I Australia looks wild to me. It looks like a parallel universe. I don't know why. It looks like, yeah, like a parallel universe a little bit. Like everything I know, but one slightly askew moment off where I'm like, is it? Okay. Um, I feel like we get a lot of this right off the plane onto some place. Like, and the person always is like, no, I don't want to. Why would they think I'd want to? I obviously need to get, to a shower and to a bathroom and to a bed. But however, our girl Elise, who is hot as hell, who has, obviously a body yada yada, who like is a cool girl, but also, has some insecurity issues and definitely wants to be loved and definitely has been hurt. All of those things, and we're not quite sure if she's ready and if Josh is it. I don't think would expect her to do what she does. So she's like, fucking, I got off the plane. I've already acquiesced to this. I checked this person's stories and he's hanging out with this guy, Chris. So I guess Chris is with us and they're dressed up like they're going to go to this Australian horse day. And like, that's what my life is. And I'm just supposed to be like, great. Oh, that's exactly what I want to do. Thanks, babe. However, she does. Like Elise just like puts on her big girl panties, but not really because those would be two granny panties, and she wears basically a thong or nothing at all. And she's like, "Hey, hey, you're sexy. Hi, nice to meet you. You're so sexy." They can say sexy, and she's like, okay, well, if that's what a fucking is. If you guys think that I'm not going to be able to have one moment of time, then here's my bags. You find me something to wear." And they do. They open her bags on the airport floor and they siphon through things, and they find a dress. And she's like, oh, I guess I don't have to wear an underwear or bra with that one. And they're like, booming, because she's a little bit, and I mean that, it's fine. She is a pick me girl. And so you're going to have pick me moments, like, and there's a couple of pick me types. Like there's a pick me kind of girl that's like, I'm not like other girls, like I'm this kind of girl. But there's also the kind of pick me girl that like definitely loves to give the like subtle, think of me sexually at all times when I'm around, like a little bit. And that's that kind. She's unabashed about it though. So she's not trying to like hide the fact that she wants to be thought of as sexy, wants people to be thinking that she's sexy, boobs, butt, sexy, Elise, period, Um, she puts on a dress and the boys are like, you know what? She did it. We're impressed. you know, she could have like done a whole like pouty thing. She could have like put on a whole princess thing. She could have been like, no, what is he doing here? Chris, what kind of name is that? Fuck that. Unless I'm gonna meet you and spray you down with Bath and Body Works. I don't want to meet a Chris. I don't know. She was kidding. She could have been like, I just want to go back to the nice apartment that it should just be us and not you, Chris, and eat the goldfish that you got me and take a shower. That's what I want. Why are you making me dress this fancy ass dress and go to a not polo event? I don't know. But they do look good and they're going to have fun. Here's the thing, they're going to have fun. And that's the other thing about sometimes like keeping yourself open. Like, yes, things can be shitty. And yes, you have to know yourself. But if you push your boundaries, sometimes you're surprised. And it happens in, I think, social ways. And there are other ways it happens too. Like, that same sentiment, knowing yourself, knowing what's good for you and like what you can tolerate, at the same time knowing if you can push yourself a little bit, if that might be good for you, because over that amount could be, and in fact a reward you didn't quite know happens when you're working out, right? Like when you're like, can I go another 5 minutes of whatever, another couple of reps, or blah 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 blobs, or yeah, can I extend a patience or a graciousness or a go with the flow flexibility to a situation that I normally wouldn't or would try to exert control over because I think I need to. When do I need to? I mean, for all intents and purposes, we can assume that Elise got daddy to get her like a business class or first class seat. So she reclined. She wore that same two-piece the whole time. I was surprised. Only because I was like, how did you only travel in that like skinny ass, thin ass two-piece? Like how I travel, like I feel like when I say a lot, like frequently, but not super long periods all the time. Like I've never been to Australia and I've never been to like Asia. So like, my longest trips are like the Europe trips of like 10 hours at a time, whatever. Which is not that even that much. But yeah, for me, I don't do it that much, all I'm saying. But at the same time, I think it's like kind of a crazy travel outfit to wear like a matching two-piece aloe set. It's just too thin. You don't have enough friction and like cushioning between you and the seat and the warmth you need for a comfortable 28-hour airplane. Like, don't you want that with sweats over it and like multiple layers? I don't know. Or she's just like, I want to look hot all the time. So I'm always cold. There's like that thing where when you're maybe driving around a bar part or a club part of whatever city, like, and obviously this could happen in Hollywood or I live in Los Angeles. There are times when you see girls just like teetering, like in their short skirts. In New York, you see this too. And it's fucking cold outside. Like it's freezing, but like, you want to look hot. So you gotta be cold. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, Aviva and Stig. Okay, so listen, spring has sprung and she's done her first round, where her first round, and this is where it was kind of confusing, was just at Stig, like, I'm gonna tell you all this shit. I'm not gonna tell my own niece all this stuff. I'm gonna tell you with Corinne, my niece. Sorry. She has, her Corinne is like her like kind of like fake niece, and then I think Corinne might be. Oh, sorry. Corinne is her niece by marriage, but also she's no longer married to that person. But obviously they're now friends. And then Aviva is, I think, her real niece. That's why I said like her biological niece. So Stig's dad's gonna meet up with all of them, and Stig's dad is we're gonna find out, very good looking, looks just like Stig. And Stig wants to have a great day with Aviva and get over the fact that Spring told him that he's been caught with this other woman or whatever. And he told Aviva, and Aviva was like, what? I don't know if I should believe you. I'm gonna go hang out with Aunt Spring. And so yeah, she goes to hang out with Aunt Spring, but not before ordering extra strong mojitos. Ugh, minty. So they all meet. It's her, Corinne, Spring, Aviva, in like floral. And then they decide to call Corinne's friend and being like, what's happening? So I have this text. And basically they're like, okay, did you have sex with Stig? She's like, yes. She's like, when? A month ago. Okay. And then do you guys still talk? Yes. And then that girl's like, and we do have an upcoming trip. And they're like, to where? To San Pedro at the end of the month, from Friday to Saturday. So it's interesting the way we do have an upcoming trip. It's like you're going on vacation together, you're meeting up somewhere. And it's just an interesting way to say it. So they tell that to Aviva. She's pissed, obviously. And then now they have to go hang out with his dad and Spring, and they all made up. Now, Spring and the dad, are on one side. And basically, it's super awkward because it's like set up by the producers. And Spring's like, well, it's nice to meet you, Stig's dad. And don't want to really bring it up, but your son's a whole ass liar. And Stig's dad's like, oh, I know. Stig is drama. No, I know. He doesn't like one lady. He likes them all. He and Stig is kind of like, well, maybe I did, hook up with someone the month before because she haven't even been here yet. I didn't know I was going to be like so into her or whatever. But he doesn't say it's this girl. He very much keeps it being like this girl is a fan. And also even Stig's dad's like, why didn't this girl, I don't know, show us the text messages of the upcoming planned vacation? Like, how'd you plan that vacation you're coming up? Like, because it does seem like she's just planned to come up and see his concert in San Pedro or whatever with her friend, because it's not hard to screenshot like, hey babe, do you want to meet me at the hotel bloobity bloops December blobbity bloop for blobbity bloop, and obviously she doesn't have that. So the other part of this story is Spring being like, I know how to make good TV. A, my hairpiece. You're welcome. B, hey girl, hey, when Aviva comes up, remember how we had extra strong mojitos? You haven't tasted anything yet too. Hold this. Hey, Stig's dad, Dwayne, who's hot as hell, and Stig, let's get some panty rippers. She's like, yes, let's order panty rippers, niece. I know how to get the party started, and I know what you need. It's to get away from Stig. Also, panty rippers, which feels like it's not conducive to those things. Those she is going to get her panties ripped later tonight with Stig. I mean, I think Spring knows what's up. I also feel like Spring knows that there is a suspect in this woman's story of being with Stig. But I kind of feel like Spring's like, even if it's not true, I want you to think that I will come for you. You just happen to have gotten away with this one, but you better not fucking do it again. I can't wait to bring you down. I will. I'll do whatever it takes. I have foot soldiers, you know? So that basically is the end of the episode. I really enjoyed like some of the dumbest moments. But first, it was so good. Oh my God. I love that. What is a panty ripper? Okay. I gotta look it up. Obviously, I know what an extra strong mojito is. Panty ripper. I'm assuming there's rum in it. Okay, it looks just like a Mai Tai without like the dark rum. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't even read it yet, and it's oh my God, it is okay. It first of all sounds so good, and it kind of is a Mai Tai. It's a popular sweet tropical Belizean cocktail made with coconut rum, pineapple juice, and a splash of grenadine, often garnished with a cherry and a pineapple slice. That sounds so good. Oh, good. Perfect for hot weather, and is sometimes considered a woman's drink. That's why I like it. You could like water it down with some like just lime juice or like some soda water. But I mean, yeah, that's like kind of yeah, it's kind of like a Mai Tai with less alcohol or less different kinds of rums and a cherry or grenadine. I love those like Lucardo cherries or like the cherries from those fancy Italian cherries as opposed to the maraschino cherries. Oh my God. I want that. I want that cocktail. That sounds great. Again, maybe made not as sweet by some way. Okay, my loves. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being on this wild journey before the 90-day journey with me. However, as you know, we have many journeys to go on together. This is just one. We have many battles to fight together in the war of entertainment. We're obviously totally watching Single Life, so that's happening as well. Did you guys listen to my America's Next Top Model episode? It was so fun. Yeah, a lot of fun things happening. Traders happened. Can you believe it? Um, Other than that, my babes, I really appreciate you spending your heart energy and your ear energy with me. I really do. I know I say that a lot, but it's just like, you know, that someone would be like, I'm gonna listen to this bitch talk for an hour and 7 minutes. It fills my heart with like a warmth. I really appreciate it, and I don't know. I wish at some point I hope I can make something up for someone. So, it's a goal. Other than that, though, let me tell you, you can follow me. Of course, I'm at Chris Alfera on TikTok, on Instagram. I'm on Patreon. I'm on Substack. It's my birthday this week. It's like a whole ass fucking birthday this week. It's been a great start to the year, a bunch of brand new beautiful energy, some great like lessons, some great growth, just like getting shit out and getting new just like vibes and spirit in. I'm just like overwhelmed with feeling hope and also peace. So I really hope that other people are feeling that too, because definitely universally and like nationally, none of that is being offered. So I think that if you can find it and if you can find it for yourself, God bless it. Uh, and you know, I just toggle back and forth between feeling incredibly lucky and privileged and also being like, wow, my God, my heart goes out to everyone that's experiencing fucking violence from war. The war that America's putting on and like the war that Israel and is fucking fighting and like the war that Iran is like funded and God bless everyone that has to deal with powers just politically moving in this Earth planet and then just wreaking havoc on just normal citizens. So, there's both. There's both. My God, there's both. So, having said that, thank you for this experience. We're going to breathe and then we're going to send each other on our merry way. But you can give me my happy birthday gift by engaging with me in any of the following ways. Please give me a review when you listen to a podcast. Please follow me on social medias, all of them. Follow me on every one of them and engage and share and comment if you can. I would really appreciate it. And it's my birthday. Did I mention that? It's also my dad's birthday too, because we're both fucking Pisces. And his birthday is March 4th, and he's turning 75. And I had to plan his whole birthday, and I'm happy about it. And then 3 days later, my birthday, March 7th, which is hopefully going to work out. It's on the back burner. All right, 2 breaths. Let's get it out. For you, for me, for this world, for peace, for love, 2 breaths. Everything I said is now in the past, and we're going to bring ourselves into this present moment. We're not going to think about the future. Somehow we're going to just be together. For some reason, we're just going to decide to categorically be present here now. Okay? If you don't mind. The sound of my voice helping you, or your own breath, some sort of sensory moment where you can feel yourself in space, feet on the ground where you're sitting. The sound of the room itself kind of brings you into the present moment. So let's do it. That feels so good. All right, my babes. Take care of yourselves and one another. Stand up for what you believe. Make art and change your sheets. Okay, babes. You know, sometimes art's a brand new fucking bed. A brand new made bed with all your pillows nicely put, or you've like zhuzhed out the corner. So like it's like beckoning you to come in, like it's already pulled out for you. I mean, put a chocolate on your pillow, whatever you need to do, honey. Spray some lavender. Art is everywhere. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.